Okay, so if you want to screen capture on a PC, I've laid out three options for you. The first one is using Windows Inbuilt Games tool. The way you activate this is by holding down Windows G, the Windows button on your keyboard. The benefit of this one is that it's already installed. You don't have to have anything installed except Windows 10 or maybe Windows 7 would have it. The negatives of this one is that it can only screen capture specific windows. So you'd be able to screen capture some windows, but not others. So I find it a little bit lacking in options. So I'd recommend one of the other two if you can do it. The second option is PowerPoint. This can screen capture just fine, and you might already have it installed on your computer. The negative of this one is that it's not free. However, if you are an ANU student or ANU staff member, you do have access to Office 365, which you can download for free using your ANU login. So using PowerPoint is actually a really good option. The next one is OBS Studio. This is a free software, so you don't need to pay for it at all. So if you don't have access to PowerPoint for some reason, OBS Studio will be free and it's very powerful as well. But you will need to install this. So let me first show you option one. So the way you do it is you hold down Windows and G, Win G, G for games, and it opens up this window over here. And you've got a button over here for capture. Click on that. So I'll just go over here. You could see you could press record. I could record, and now I'm recording the screen. You could have the mic on or off with this button, and then you could stop it with this over here. And then you could click on show all captures, and it'll show you the capture that I just recorded, and you can open file location to see where that's saved for you. The second option is to use PowerPoint. This is probably the one I'd recommend the most out of these three because it's the simplest and you probably already have PowerPoint installed. If you don't, you do have access to it, so feel free to use it. So the way you do it is really easy. You just go to your Insert tab over here on PowerPoint, and then you click on Screen Recording over here on the right. And you can see that it's already given me this red line. Usually it just comes looking like this. And you could select a portion of your screen that you want to select. So I'm going to select, let's say, this piece over here and hit record. And then you can see it gives you a few second countdowns, and now it's started the recording. And to stop the recording, you could just go all the way to the top, and then this little thing pops up, and then you could press stop. And voila, there's your recording. It's inside PowerPoint already. I almost never really need it inside of PowerPoint, so you could just right click and go save media as and save it to wherever you want. And that's how you use PowerPoint. Now the last option is using OBS Studio. The way you can find that's really easy. Just Google OBS Studio, or just even OBS will work probably. Yep, you just search OBS and you can click on this download button, or you can go to their website, which is obsproject.com, and then you just choose download. Once you download that file, it'll look like this, OBS Studio. You just double click it, and installing like any software really, you just click next, next, next until you're done. Next, 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 and just save it. Anyways, I've already got mine installed, so once that's finished installing, then it's just over here. You can just right click and go open, or sometimes if it's giving any issues, you might need to choose run as administrator. But I'm just going to double click it and go open OBS Studio. Let's wait for it. And here it is. You can see my microphone's doing its thing, and I've got a start recording button there. If I press this, it's not going to work. Let's see what happens. It says, hey, you need to add sources by clicking plus sign under the sources box. So I'm just going to go no thanks. And here's my sources box. You just need to click the plus sign, and you could capture different things. You can capture your webcam, your browser, your color source, audio, just your audio, an image, or whatever. I'm going to capture my display capture, which is my screen. But I could also choose window capture if I want to capture just one window. And you could also add text and stuff, which is pretty nice. I'm going to choose display capture and just call it, I could call it monitor if I want. Hit OK, hit OK. Now it shouldn't come out as black like this does. You should be able to see your monitor. The reason it's doing it for me is because of my graphics card. It's probably because I'm using a little bit of an old computer. So I'm going to close this, and the solution for me was right clicking here and going run with graphics processor, and I'm going to choose, instead of the high performance NVIDIA processor, I'm going to choose integrated graphics. Boom. And there you go. Now you can see it actually works, and I can see my screen. And then you could just click on start recording. And then when you're done, now it's recording my screen. When you're done with that, you could hit stop recording. That's about it. And to see where it went, you could go into your settings, go into your output. This is where you can choose what kind of recording format file you want as well. So MKVs is the default, and some video editing softwares don't like this. So feel free to choose another one like MP4 or MOV, which is a little bit more used. But to see where the file's going, it's just going into my user space, into videos folder. So let's find that. There's my videos folder, and there's my capture. And that's how you use OBS Studio.